what the folks here that are listening have to say, if there's anything here that we can relate to you. First of all...
Hit me with a steamroller, I don't mind.
All right, well, first of all, everyone says thanks, and...
everybody's probably pissed at you. You're too supportive and too nice. They tear them apart.
We actually have a gentleman here that's in the studio with me. His name is Will, and he's like waving at me saying he's got a question. Let me see. Will, is that mic on?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Hit me with your best shot, Will.
Marko.
All right.
Hi.
Marko, say hi to Will.
Hey.
Will, this is my friend Marko, and Marko, this is my friend Will.
Pleasure to meet you.
I actually wrote this question down because, as I was listening to you, I wanted to form my question. I think better in words. The solution that you described earlier, and I can't describe it exactly. Would you be so kind as to refresh my memory as towards the solution of our energy independence problem?
I have found at the center of mass of every atom.
I got to tell you one thing, Marko.
Uh-huh.
I have an 8th grade formal education. Everything else I've learned from reading books at the library I've checked out. So let's break it down into.
Isn't that usually how we learn to be husbands and lovers too? So.
Yeah. Well put. Touche. All right. So in a nutshell, give it to me because my question follows after that. The question ultimately is this.
Yeah, let's just get to the question. I mean, because quite frankly, Will, there are a lot of people smarter than you and me that have said Marko has got this figured out. In fact, there are brilliant people that are saying that. So the question is...
I don't doubt your means at all, but practical, ideal, radical steps, no doubt, right, Marko?
I guess the question is, what sort of practical or radical steps should we be taking?
Is that what your question is?
Moreover, I'm saying that I see that you have the end, but I don't see the practical.
How am I going to get to the end?
I don't see the practical means to it. I can't.
Let's be real simple. Okay.
Yeah.
I know they named a coil after me. Okay. It's called the Rodin coil. Okay. A lot of people have made it, like John Louis Naudin, very famous in vertical lift and UFO, trying to look for. Vertical lift spacecraft, blah, blah, blah. He's on the web out of France. I never spoke with him. He got my schematic, made it. He uses my coil because they have pictures of it up online showing pictures of this huge arms of a magnetic field sucking everything into it. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Okay. We sent the same coils, not his that he made, but using the same blueprints and schematics to Hewlett-Packard Materials Testing Division. Not only did they confirm, which we used our own home-built Gauss meters in a garage, that we were getting 62.5% greater inductance on our most smallest model. Not only did they confirm that our measurements were right on target, but they also said they can't figure out where it's coming from. Okay? They said it must only be a result of the geometry of the coil itself, which is, it's an air coil. And that's all it was the braiding and the weaving. Okay? All I'm claiming is I make coils. And I have to confess that I never in my life, growing up as a child, ever had any recognition that a coil would be my claim to solving mankind's energy needs, okay? But there is not a motor that doesn't run on a coil, okay? And I know how to distribute the energy in a coil and braid it and weave it in such a way and know where to leave the spaces, which is just as equally important for these what I call underpinning nested vortices, and make the energy and pulse it and energize it just right, that I can make that coil do miracles. Because in the center of magnetism, there's electricity, and in the center of electricity is magnetism. I have found the source of magnetism, and it's not electricity, okay? And there's an energy that occurs at the same time with magnetism that goes in the opposite direction of the field. That I found that only magnetism could give slippage and free play fast enough to this energy that goes in a straight line. Mankind has never seen anything that goes in a straight line. Every document I have reveals on the z-axis, on an invisible, linear, straight head-on tangential axis, a positive, non-bending emanation that is the source of all warpage and curvature of the universe. I have found why E equals MC squared causes the curvature of space-time reality. And I can make, on a laboratory workbench, the source of a black hole that powers our galaxy. And I can do it synthetically. I can create an artificial singularity. So I claim that with simple materials, that I make E.T. Calling Home out of the movie with the phonograph, I can take sticks and twigs, okay, and create a device that will blow out of the water anything that's powering that radio station right now. Okay, my specialty is coils, antennas,
no doubt,
receivers, transmitters, and that's what we're broadcasting with. Okay, using my coils, the military had a competition, signature antenna, won using my design and got the contract to protect the four corners of the United States because using my design, they had the most sensitive coils ever created. That's what I make, and that's the tip of the iceberg. I have found how to tap into the source of the EMF.
All right, well, Marko, that's the way to finish it. It was good, actually. You got to
Did that help, Will?
Yeah, I'm sure it helped, Will. I got a little bit of talking to him to do after the show here. Anyway, he's taking photos of me. So anyway, we'll let him stick with his photography, and we'll let you stick with making coils. And
well, everybody's worrying about if it's a pipe dream, you know. They're always wondering, where is it? What make it tangible? Make it happen. Everybody's angry at me. Why haven't you done something? And my first responsibility is always to preserve it in documentation with schematics, blueprints, so other people can duplicate it. Because people have come before me, they've made devices, and they took them to the grave with them one way or another.
It's true. We got people talking about Nikola Tesla online.
And that's why I'm trying to preserve it as best I can. And if I can preserve it, then I'll make them. And I'll share them as best I can. I mean, I don't know. People have no idea how I am just like overextended to the max.
Well, we're not going to extend you any further tonight. All right, Marko?
Well,
so
thank you for letting me share.
Yeah, and I thank you for sharing, all right? And hang in there. You never know. The world turns, and we'll never say never, as I said, and we'll see what it brings, okay? But hang in there and keep doing the work and do your best to share it, and we'll try to share it ourselves. We'll have this program up in the archives in the next day or so, and we'll let people listen to it and make their own discernment what they hear, okay? And one more time, I appreciate it. Thanks, Marko. Okay, and take care of the kids. I love them.
Thanks for being of such good service to me. I appreciate it.
All right, take care of yourself, all right?
Aloha.
All right, aloha to Marko Rodin. We got just a couple minutes to finish things up here. It's Mike. You've been listening to Radio Orbit. Next week, Christopher Dunn, the amazing author of Giza Power Plant. He's an engineer and a machinist, and we'll be talking about the masonry and the stonework on the Giza Plateau and the monuments there, the pyramids in Egypt, and also some of the other monolithic megaliths around the planet. Chris Dunn is an amazing guy, and he knows a whole lot about engineering and what it takes to cut stone and things like that. So we'll talk with Christopher Dunn next week, and in the meantime, I'll just say thanks and come on back, all right? We'll finish things off. I got a song here from ISM, one more. The title track of their most recent CD called Monkey Underneath. This is that song. It's Mike. You've been listening to Radio Orbit, KOPN Columbia, 89.5 FM. And one more time, this show dedicated to the children of planet Earth. May they be protected, all right? And bind the hands and the tools of those who would harm them. It's Mike. You've been listening to Radio Orbit. I'll see you next week.